VinWonders Phu Quoc. It looks like it was built to trying to impress you in the first 5 seconds.
But can it actually keep you entertained all day?
Today we are going to test out one of Vietnam's most massive entertainment park. We are going to test all the rides, shows, aquariums and everything else that park has to offer.
We'll show you the best parts, what's worth the ticket price and our honest verdicts for families, couples or solo travelers.
VinWonders Phu Quoc spans 50 hectares with 6 themed zones, over 100 attractions and non-stop action from 9 am to 7:30 pm. It's built for full-day adventure, so we're hitting the highlights zone by zone to see if it's worth it.
I've been living in Vietnam my whole life, but I've never felt like I accidentally landed in the middle of Europe. Until now.
That's really impressive, even for me as a European. Or maybe I just lived way too long in Southeast Asia. I genuinely don't know anymore.
This is European Streetmosphere. It is the first zone you walk into, and honestly it sets the tone for the entire park. The cobblestone path, the half-timber buildings, the lanterns, they put a lot of effort into it.
And it's not just decoration in here. There are plenty of restaurants, shops, live mascot show in the morning. And at the end of this street, there is something really impressive.
At the heart of European Streetmosphere stands Palace of Dreams, a full-scale fairy tale castle that honestly has no business being this beautiful. The moment you see it at the end of the cobblestone avenue, it hits differently. Like, who approved this level of grandeur for a theme park in Phu Quoc?
Xin chào, if you don't know my friends, means hello in Vietnamese.
Right in front of the castle is Fire Phoenix Square, a wide-open plaza with fountains, golden phoenix sculptures and dramatic architecture framing on every side. I'm not going to say too much about that place right now, but I genuinely do not believe that the castle this stunning and a square this well designed is here just for photos and check-ins. There's something they're saving for later, and I have a feeling you're going to want to be standing right here when it happens.
So Evie, before we leave that zone, we need to talk about this one here, that dragon spell, Vietnam's first ever interactive dark ride inside a castle.
I volunteer as tribute.
So basically, it's like a laser blaster. You ride through the castle and shoot at animated dragons, monsters to help the king. It's like a video game, but you're inside it. Question to you, should we talk about the points we scored?
We definitely should talk about the scores. Maddie earned 2.2 thousand points. I scored 6,000. We don't talk about it.
We should not.
Okay, so we just survived a medieval European castle and a dragon's attack. It's a standard Tuesday.
So what's next? Opposite of refined European elegance. We're talking about 5 different fantasy worlds inside of one zone. Desert, ruins, black forest, all in one.
Hey, and I heard that there's a flying carpet somewhere in there.
Let's go!
Fantasy World is the largest zone in VinWonders and is essentially 5 mini-worlds built back to back. You've got the Enchanted Kingdom, Ancient Valley, Mysterious Island, Enchanted Forest, and the Wild West. Each one has its own visual identity, rides and atmosphere, so you're not just walking through one scene, you're walking through 5.
The standout here, and the one we'd actually tell you not to skip, is the 5D Flying Theater. There are only 2 flying theaters in Vietnam, and one of the 2 is here. You can feel the seats move, the air changes, and you're basically Aladdin on a magic carpet over virtual landscapes. It sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but also genuinely impressive.
Okay, I need to talk about the 5D flying theater because Maddie's face during the ride was something I will cherish forever.
I was definitely reacting appropriately for a carpet drop. There is nothing wrong with grabbing the armrest. Alright, fantasy, castles, flying, carpets. We covered the fairy tale of that park.
Next zone, a completely different energy. Viking ships, ropes, bridges, zip line over the jungle because VinWonders decided one theme wasn't enough.
So today we already went from a medieval European village to a fantasy world and now Viking village.
This is mysterious village. The atmosphere completely changed here. It's more rustic, more adventurous.
The main attraction is the Viking River. You're in a long tail boat and there's a zip line over the streets and you can climb the trees at 10 meters high.
There's also a warrior dance show here twice a day and it pairs very well with the theme here. Okay, so we just got mildly soaked on the Viking longship.
Which is unfortunate because our next stop will be the water park and we will get soaked anyway.
I should have worn swimsuit under this.
I told you, me too. Welcome to what would be the best argument to buy a full day ticket here in VinWonders Phu Quoc. Typhoon World, one of the biggest aqua parks here in Vietnam. 27 slides, wave pool, crazy rivers, and slides that makes you scary when you even look up.
Recommended approach, come here in the early afternoon when the sun is at its hottest and plan to stay at least 2 hours. You will not run out of things to do.
The crown jewel of Typhoon World is the freefall drop slide, a near vertical plunge into a splash pool that goes from 0 to terrifying in about 2 seconds. Then there's the high-speed spiral tube slides, the multi-lane racing slides, if you want to compete, and a large wave pool that actually generates proper surf-sized waves.
For something a bit more relaxed, there's a lazy river that wraps around a huge section of the park and a massive kids splash zone that's basically a water playground. It's well designed so that thrill seekers and families can coexist without the kids ending up on a 30-meter slide by accident.
Okay, we soaked. Matty survived the drop and the other crazy slide. And now it's time to dry off and go somewhere more civilized.
Up next, we go in under the ocean, literally. And what's living down there is not what I expected.
Let's go!
Okay, I want everyone watching this to understand. There's a shark swimming directly above my head, and I'm choosing to stay calm.
Woo. But Evie, hey, we are in a glass tunnel, so don't worry. There is minimum 2 centimeters of glass separating us from, I guess, 100 sharks.
The seashell is the aquarium here, and it basically is one of the biggest aquariums in Southeast Asia. So you've got a glass tunnel where you can walk through the ocean floor, where you can see all the big fishes like hammerhead shark, jellyfish, domes, and many different jellyfish.
And just for your information, in here is too a live feeding show where a diver goes inside the tanks and feed the sharks hand by hand. Crazy.
Seashell is one of the best parts of VinWonders. Nobody really talks about it. Millions of liters of water, around 255,000 marine creatures, 300 species. The class tunnel walk is the main event, and walking through this tunnel feels like going deep down to the ocean without getting soaked.
You can even find a place called the Frozen Palace, where you can watch real penguins playing around. If you want to have a thrilling tining experience, I guess that's the best place to do it.
We had a great time under the water. And you know, I learned one thing today. You don't have to know how to swim to be in the ocean, especially for me.
And now it would be time for Zone 6 Adventure World with all the crazy roller coasters. But sadly we run out of time because we had a packed day. If you guys want us to review that last part, let us know in the comments. We will fly back to Phu Quoc. And now it's time for our last magical moment of today. So let's go.
It's 6:30 now. The park is about to close, and everyone is making their way to the show.
The one show runs from 6:45 to 7:05 p.m. 20 minutes of synchronized 3D live mapping projected directly onto Palace of Dreams, paired with fountain, choreography, fire effects, and a full orchestral soundscape. It's the kind of finale that makes everything else feel like it was building towards this moment, and honestly, it delivers.
Okay, it's time for our honest verdict. VinWonders is big, logistically big. 6 full zones in one day is a lot. Our legs will know about it tomorrow.
But what makes it really interesting is the variety in that park. So you have like a fairy tale world, you have the Viking world, you have a water park, and a really big aquarium and an adventure zone. So everything combined in one park.
And our highlights, first the the dragon spell ride inside the castle in the morning when the queue is not too long, and also the water park when the sun is at its hottest. Yeah, and the aquarium is like biggest surprise, something unexpected.
Maybe the only drawback I need to mention is the price. So normally 1.1 million, we bought it with a 15% discount, so 880,000, but it's still $34. That's a lot for Vietnam.
Yeah.
Included in that price, you have 150,000 voucher for food, like $8, and buggy rides inside of the park. So I think if you go there the whole day from the morning till the night, the price is definitely reasonable.
What I didn't like that among zones, the 6 zones, there's not a lot of shade. So if you go with children and elderly, so you might prepare waters and maybe umbrellas.
As always, we are now reached the end of our video. We would be really thankful if you give the video a like, if you find the information useful. If you have any questions, let us just know in the comments. We will answer everything, and subscribe the channel because we will visit more of that adventure parks here in Vietnam. As always, keep exploring. Bye bye.